What's up, guys? Frank Maialetti here. Kind of already in the middle of the start of the first rack. Fedor Gorst, Sergio Rivas, race to 10. We're here at the 2025 International Open 9-ball. Rivas has a cut on the 2-ball. Unfortunately, we weren't able to stream this one live, so we're going to have to do essentially a live recording, and then we uploaded it to you guys on YouTube. All right, Rivas from Buffaloes. He's out of that pool room. One of the most prestigious rooms in the country. Comes 2 rails on the 5-ball. The set has the pink 4 and the orange 5. Of course, this is WNT rules. This is a WNT event. 75,000 added in this event. That's some big money. I think it's 35,000 for first place and 23,000 for second. All right, Rivas over for the 6-ball. Got a couple options here. He can just punch off the rail, or he can go forward 2 rails. He's feeling his stroke today. Rivas is a very methodical player. Sometimes takes a little normal than usual to shoot some balls, but is a very strong player. That's a 7 in the corner. You see where he's pointing to with the cue ball. Wants to kind of leave that cue ball on the rail for the 8. Just like a center ball stun. Just going to let it roll. Not even have to stun it. Just going to let it roll clean. All right, 8 in the corner. He's got the angle to go forward 2 rails. Under the 9-ball, and I think Sergio Rivas is going to win the first rack here. Make the score 1-0. All right, we have 1-0 on the score. All right, back to the action. Rack number 2. This is an alternate break format. Of course, like I said, WNT rules, so 9 on the spot. All ball fouls. Fedor to break in rack number 2, trailing 1-0. Nice break by Fedor. 1 on the side. 2 balls down. He's got position on the 3. Should take the 3 right in the side pocket. If he needs help, he can let the cue ball roll, like essentially float to his right, crashing into that 9 and holding it for the 4. If he doesn't, then You'll see him maybe just pinch back an inch or just slow roll the ball in. All right, so we did use the 9 for help. I'm going to play the 4 ball into the, we're going to call this the bottom left. The pocket that's right above the 1 here. And then the ball, or sorry, the pocket to the right, we'll just call that bottom right. Just cutting the 4 and outside 2 rails coming over for the 5. He needs the angle on the 5 to hold for the 6. And he gets the angle that he needs for the 6. Keeping the angle helps him when he plays the 6. He'll play off the right side rail out for the 7. If he really wants to get positioned, then he can draw the ball coming off the right rail and playing the 7 in the side. I don't see him doing that, though. I could be wrong. And again, I'm wrong. So he will play the 7 in his side pocket. A little shorter than he wanted to be. It should dress up for the 8 to the top left. All right, 8 ball into the top left. Got a couple options depending on which side of the 9 he wants to be in. He could go forward 2 rails. He could also go off the top rail. And third option is he can draw it a little short on the 9, so he's going to have to play a longer shot on the 9 ball. All right, a little bit of a longer shot here on the 9, but should be able to take it right to the bottom right corner. And he does. And we got 1-1 on the score here. Fedor Gorst versus Sergio Rivas. All right, 1-1 on the score. Rack number 3, Sergio Rivas to break. He's a little bit closer to the center of the table versus to the edge of the box, like a lot of other players prefer to break. Let's see how that works for his break. Scratches in the side, makes the 2 ball and the 8 ball. I think that's the 2 and the 3 ball. 8 ball still on the table. All right, ball in hand for the Ghost. Not a spot you want to be in. All right, 1 into the top right. Comes around 3 on the 4 ball. A little short from the shape he wanted. He wanted the shape to the top left. A little off angle on the top right. This angle's a little hard to tell if he can go forward. Playing the 4 to the top right, letting the cue come down for the 5. Tell by his cueing here in a second. Looks like he's going to draw the ball. Maybe 2 rails. got out of line off the 1. Sergio in a good spot here. He's got the 4. Waiting for him right in the side. Now the question is he going to travel down to the bottom rail, or if he's just going to slow roll it in, maybe play the backwards cut on the 5 ball. All right, he does travel down to the bottom rail and back out. All right, 5 on his side. He might come around the 6. Might jack up a little bit. Maybe just pull the 5 back about 8 to 15 inches. All right, he's on the 6. Sergio very methodical in his shooting here. Everything is seems to be calculated, taking his time. There are some people that say Sergio takes a little longer than he should. I think he just really wants to dial his shots in sometimes. That's why he's down on the ball. Slides over for the 7. That's a nice shot. Eight to 9 is going to be a tough shot for him. Sergio's 2025 record from AZ Billiards. He's been in 1, 2, 3. This is his 9th event this year, according to AZ Billiards. He's only had 2 out of the 9 so far where he has not been in the top 10. He came in 8th in the Derby Banks, 31st in the 1 pocket, 54th in the 9 ball. Then U.S. Open 10 ball, 9th. U.S. Open Bank Pool, 5th. The Buffalo's Pro Classic 1 ball, 1 pocket, he came in 3rd. The Bayou Bash 1 pocket, he came in 2nd. And just last week, over at the River City Open, I was producing that event down there at Legends Billiards in Jacksonville, one of the nicest rooms in the country. He came in 9th place in that event. All right, he's going to pocket this 9 to take a 2-1 lead on Fedor. All right, we have 2-1 on the score. All right, back with the action here to start rack number 4. Fedor to break. He's trailing 2-1. Needs to come with a big break here. Keep an eye on a 5. All right, 5 gets kicked in. 2 up table. Also makes the 1 on the break. Doesn't have a clear shot at the 2. He's got a couple options. He could push. He can do a kick and stick coming between the 6 and the 7. Using a lot of right-hand English coming off of that top rail, kicking the 2 down table. And Fedor kicks it down, gets a lucky rub off the 4, goes in the side pocket. A little fortunate for Fedor. He's going to have the 3 right in the bottom corner there. Look to play some high English. Wants to come up right between that 4-9. He's in a good spot here for the 4. He'll use a little bit of right hand. Ball's naturally going to go away from the 4, but he'll use a little bit of right hand. Try to get himself closer to that left side rail, right where his hands are at. Gets a little tight on the rail, like straight, but should be all right. Play the 6 into the corner. I like him pulling it back maybe about 2 or 3 inches to play the 7. Give himself essentially a manufactured angle. All right. Got an angle on the 7. I don't think I'll need to go forward 2 rails. I should just be able to use the top rail. Come towards the center of the table. Using the second rail would be if he doesn't have the steeper angle. Looking at his cueing here, he should be all right. Yeah, it comes down for the 8. 8 and 9 should go into the same pocket. Play the 8 ball, just draw it back slightly to his left, which would be our right. Basically a stun shot, just stun it over. Play the 9 in the same pocket. And he does. Looks like we're going to have 2-2 on the score. Fedor ties it up with that break and run out. A pretty good match here, folks. All right, rack 5, Rivas to break. Scores tied 2-2. Fedor just broke and ran his second rack. One ball gets kicked in the side off the rebound. Sergio out to the 2 ball. Couple big sweaters there in the background watching. You got Bobby Chamberlain to the left. And in the middle screen all the way to the back, the famous Stu. You got Tyler Steyer over there against his matchup against Jesus Atencio. But we're here to see the ghost, Fedor Gorst. A little bit of a tough shot there with the 3 and the 4 tied up. Let's see what Sergio does. Could opt for safe. All right, right, Sergio eyeing this one up. He's got to be careful of that 7 ball. All right, he does avoid the 7. Cue ball comes out 3 rails. He might get the bump he needs. Wow, that's a good shot by Sergio Rivas. Using the natural English of the ball. A little bit of a cut shot on the 3, though. He has to be careful of that top left pocket. I'm sure he's aware of it. He's using a bit of a low angle, so he might just stun the ball to the left. He does use the top rail. Okay, gets around to the 4. Rivas is playing well here, cruising. All right, cue over for the 5 ball. 5 goes to the bottom pocket. I'm curious, does he have enough to come off the bottom rail, or is he going to have to draw this ball? Almost stun draw it off the left side rail. All right, 5 to the bottom right. Looks like he is going to just draw off that left side rail. Not even. Okay. Confused me on that one. Looked like he was loading up for a big shot. All right, 6 to that top left pocket. Plays it well. Has an angle on the 7. Now I'm curious, does he put the high inside English, which in this case would be the high right coming off the bottom rail, spinning the cue ball to the left? Or does he do the outside English 4 rails? So bottom rail, right rail, top rail over to the left. Let's see. Will also come out 2 rails, bottom rail, right rail. Nope, he does use the inside. Keeps it a little simpler. Thought maybe he might go for the flashy shot. Rivas keeping it simple. About to take a 3-2 lead here on Fedor Gorst. All right, 3-2 on the score. All right, rack 6, Fedor to break. Trailing by 1, 3-2. One ball on the side. Ball down, 4 tracks to the side pocket. No great shot on the 2. All right, looking at his options. Really going to work on that chalk. Couple safe plays here. He can bank the 2. Put the cue ball all the way up. Top rail. If he's trying to go for the tougher shot, he could play off the right side of 2. Put the cue behind the 3. Goes for 2. Sort of a two-way shot. All right, Rivas looking at the 2 ball. Plays the edge of the 2, trying to leave Fedor up behind the 6. He does a very good job at it. Fedor has to go airborne, but he might be too close. And take off the back extension. This way he can elevate more. Is very close to that 6. Gets right over top of it. Does not pocket the ball, though. Leaves the 2 wide open. Rivas will play the 2 ball into the side pocket. Letting the cue go forward. Get down for that 3 on the bottom left. Comes off the right side rail. Leaves himself a good angle for the 3 coming out to roll up table for the 4. Bumps off the 9. He's okay. Has a 4 to the top right. Almost saved himself on that shot. This type of shot here depends on what he wants to do. He can play the 4 and just kind of stun it backwards, playing the 5 to the top left. Or he could roll forward with the 4, playing it in the middle left, using the cue ball to either come off the left rail, depending on the angle, or just draw it straight back off the right rail. Already starting in a shot. Getting up to the 4. All right, so he does play the 4 to the corner for the 5. And holds for the 6. 6 to the top left. He's there on the 7. 2 balls for him to get out. And take a 4-2 lead here over Fedor. All right, 9 in the side here for a 4-2 lead. All right, Rivas makes a 9. He's got a lead 4-2 here in a race to 10.
It all started at Derby. We brought a few products and had no idea what to expect. Then came Super Billiards Expo, and the support was unreal. Now, seeing the way players and fans have responded, we're constantly coming out with new product, and we know this is just the beginning. Thanks for the support. We are just getting started.
All right, 4-2 Rivas on the score. One goes in the side. 3's traveling to the side. Got a shot on the 2. Could take the combination. 2 off the 3. There's the referee to remove the rack. All right, the rack retrieval's done. All right, really taking some time with this one. Sergio probably will not win any award for the fastest match played. That makes it too clear inside. Q bumps to 6. All right, 3 in the side. Not sure what he's really looking at here for the leave. He should just be able to leave it right on the left rail. Unless he's trying to get much closer, which... Looking at the 3-railer. And looking to go around the 8 ball then. 3 rails. A little bit of a cut. Should easily have it. All right, 3 rails around to the 4. He didn't quite get close enough to where he wanted. I just would have left to see him leave on the left side rail and just play the longer shot. right, down on the 4. Plays the bank safe on the 4. What's the cue behind the 5 ball? All right, Fedor's looking at the bottom rail. Going to maybe come off the bottom and run into the 4. There could be a 2 rail option. Going tight to the right pocket. So bottom rail, right rail. Back up into the 4 ball. All right, getting the jump cue out here. Looks like he might be just jumping over half a ball. Gets it over. And makes the 4. Great shot by the Ghost. All right, looking at the leave. All right, does he have the 5 to the bottom left pocket? Or is he going to have to come from behind it maybe and kick it into the 6 and send it up table? All right, Fedor studying this one on a cerebral level. If you get a chance, folks, check us out this week on the Billiard Sports Network. We're live here at the International Open. We've been here all week. Actually got here 2 days before the start to help set up, get everything. Fedor does go into the 5. It's a pretty good ride. Look at the 6. It's a little lucky on the leave. 6 hits in a way. Rivas will have to go up and down. What I was saying is we had the 4 events this week. Had the 1 pocket, the straight pool, the semi-pro, the pro. We also had the JIC juniors were in town. Overall, great event so far. That's off to Mr. Pat Fleming, a legend. All right, here's Sergio's shot. Up and down table. Makes contact with the 5, doesn't make it. And Federer's got an opportunity to close the gap here. He's trailing by 2. He might use the 5 to come off the rail to run into the 7, but I don't know if it's going to help him. All right, 5 into the pocket for Federer. Goes around the 7. He's looking at the leave off the 6. Does he leave it right where it's at? Just play the steeper cut on the 7? I think that's the shot. He gets himself right there to where he can tuck the cue. Play the 7 to the corner, come out. The 8 up in the top right. All right, 2 rails out for the 8 ball. Now just natural position from here. Play the 8 into the corner. Cue ball comes out for the 9. All right, 2 rails. Natural position for the 9 ball. Federer's going to shorten that lead that Rivas has by 1. All right, 4-3 on the score. Federer trails by 1. All right, 4-3. Federer breaking, trying to tie the set up. One in the side. He gets a very fortunate bump off the 3, which sets him up perfectly for the 2. All right, 2 ball into the bottom left corner. He's going to need some position on the 3. Looks like a potential 3-5 combination. All right, 3-5 combination for Federer coming up here. 5 goes down. 3 kind of sets back towards its original position. That'll give him a play for the 3 into the corner, giving himself a slight angle on the 4. All right, Federer. 4 ball into the corner. Just wants to kind of stun the ball to his right. All right, he stuns the cue ball over Kind of in between there. Either wanted to go a little further or a little shorter. It does have the 6 in the side pocket. His cue ball's just going to have to travel a little bit. Also has to be careful of the 9 if he's going to go 3 rails. All right, might not even come 3. He might just spin the ball to the top rail. He does. A little deeper off the 6 than he wanted to be. The 7 will track a little bit. He might, if he wants to draw, he might have to elevate his cue a little bit. Good play on the 7. Plays it to the corner. Brings the cue ball out for the 8. A little steeper than I think he wanted to be. He does have the 4 rail option, playing the 8 into the top left, letting the cue ball come top rail, right rail, bottom rail, resting on the left rail. Alright, he goes around the horn for the 9 in the same pocket. Looking to tie this set up 4-4 in a race to 10. Alright, 9 goes in. Fedor ties it up 4-4 in a race to 10. All right, scores tied up 4-4. Rivas to break here on rack number 9. Oh, almost got the golden. There is a ball down, though. Seven ball was made on the break. He has shape on the 1. All right, he's going to get his extension. Play the 1 up to the top right. Just wants to come across. Play the 2 in the top left. All right, Q slides over for the 2 ball. I'm curious, does he take the 2 ball and play shape for the 3 in the side pocket, or does he take the 2 ball and play shape for the 3-9 combination? All right, so he's playing shape for the run out. Could actually play a 2-way here. Playing the 3, letting the Q slide down and carry him into the 9. also looking at the 5-9 combination. All right, plays the 3. Makes the 9 combination. Sergio Rivas is going to go up 5-4 on Fedor Gorst. All right, rack 10, Fedor breaking, trailing by 1. Makes the 1 on the side. Cue ball's kicked to sit behind the 9. He might have shape on it. This angle's slightly deceiving with the essentially pocket view that we're looking at, 45 degrees angle. If he can pocket the 2, he'll be okay, but if he can't pocket the 2, could be a little bit of an issue for him, or Rivas possibly taking a 2-0. I'm sorry, a 2-game lead if he gets out. Let's see what he does first here with the 2 ball if he can get to it. Starting to have a little crowd here amassing behind the tables. We're in the opening round of stage 2 of the International 9 ball. $75,000 added event. Good purse, $35,000 paid out to first place. $23,000 paid to second. He did have the clear shot on the 2. Now, does he play the 3 into the side pocket? Or does he play the 3 into the 8? That's the big question here. He does play the 3 in the side pocket. He was going to roll up for the 4. He'll have the 4 right to the top corner. 6 is waiting for him either in the side or the top, however he feels to shoot it. Oh, he misses the 4. That's going to leave Rivas wide open here. Take a 2-game lead. right, cue down for the 6 ball. Come around 3 rails. Shape for the 7. A little short on the shape. Sergio has the line, but he keeps coming up short on the shape. I'm not sure if he's just understroking the ball or maybe kind of stroking it slightly scared. All right, 7 with a little bit of a low English. Just wants to throw it to the left rail, or I'm sorry, right rail. All right, he's going to play the 8. Just one real shape. And he's going to catch a second rail. Rivas was doing a 2-step there. All right, 9 ball in the corner for Rivas to take a 2-game lead. All right, he makes it 2 games on up Sergio Rivas. The score of 6-4 currently over Fedor Gorst. All right, Rivas up by 2. His break. All right, dry break by Rivas. Fedor right up to the table. Wants to shorten that lead that Rivas has right now. Got an okay starting position on the 1 ball. Everything's wide open, so basically getting off the 1 ball back to the 2 for shape where he can stay in line. So I'm looking to see, probably cut the 1 to the corner. Come left rail out past the side pocket to the right rail. Playing the 2 ball on the left side. All right, gets out shape to the 2 ball. We'll play the 2 right in the left side pocket. Just wants to hold for that 3 on the bottom. All right, 3 will come out 2 rails for the 4 in the side pocket. right, 5 goes to the bottom left. 6 ball's waiting right there for him. He's just going to basically go around the tree here. 5 down to the corner, 6 to the corner, 7 up to the top. All right, 6 down. Fedor going to come on the opposite side of the 7. All right, 7 will go to the bottom right. He just wants to basically stun the cue ball to his right, which would be our left. Might even clip the 9 a little bit. He did not. All right, leaves the 8 up to the top corner. All right, 8 ball down, 2 rails out for the 9 ball. All right, 9 ball to cut the lead by 1. All right, 6-5 on the score. Fedor Gorst cuts the lead down to 1. It'll be his break also. All right, 6-5, Fedor break him. All right, good spread. Shape on the 2. He can play the 2, coming 2 rails. Left rail back to the right rail. Playing the 3 in the bottom corner. Fedor looking at this for a little bit of time. I'm not sure what he's worried about. Maybe he's worried about two ball coming into the right side pocket. Already slows off the right side pocket. He'll play the 3 to the corner. If he runs into the 5, he'll be okay, but he might come underneath of it. So he kind of wants to hit it coming off the bottom rail to basically stop the cue. Federer's waiting until Tyler's done his shot. He's going to take his. Of course, they're teammates. All right, playing the 3 to the corner. Might have enough angle to stun to the right rail and then come beneath the 5. He does catches the 5 a little bit, but he's okay. He's going to play the 4. Might run into the 9, kind of move it out of the way a little bit. Now he moves the 8 instead. Better getting his extension. Has to be careful to not touch any balls. This is an all ball foul situation. All right, 6. Corner just wants to kind of leave the cue ball up there, but a slight angle. All right, real quick out to the 8 now. 8 and 9 should go in the same pocket. All right, 8 down, out for the 9. Federer's going to tie it up here, 6-6. All right, rack 13. Rivas breaking, score tied. Dry break, but the 4 gets in the way. All right, Fedor's going to have a little bit of an issue here. He's got the 4 ball in the way. He's really nowhere he could push to on the front end. He's going to have to go towards the bottom end here. I don't see him kicking into it. The jump might not work for him either. All right, so he's going to push out to behind the 8. Maybe force Rivas to jump at it or kick off the top rail. Rivas kicks the 1 right into the 6. 1 ball dresses up somewhat good for him. 1 ball's a tough shot. If he makes the 1, he's got a good opportunity to get out here. Cut this ball to the left side. And come down table. He doesn't want to get behind the 9 or the 5, of course. Just like I said, he doesn't want to get behind the 9 or the 5. And he does. All right, Rivas going to go airborne over top of the 9, trying to pocket the 2 on the side. Makes the 2. 3 moves 3 moves forward, though, close to the 8. potentially play it safe here. Roll the 3 up to the top rail, using the 8 as a blocker. Powers through that shot there. 3 and 8 combination into the top left. All right, again, doesn't come out as far as he wants to, though. I could play the 4 on the side, drawing the cue ball to the right side rail, trying to draw either in between the 9-5 or draw the cue way before the 9. Let's see. Oh, doesn't even need to do that. I was way off on the angle. That's why I'm the commentator, not the player. All right, draws out to the 7 ball. All right, Rivas gets out. He's going to take the lead now, 7-6.
It all started at Derby. We brought a few products and had no idea what to expect. Then came Super Billiards Expo, and the support was unreal. Now, seeing the way players and fans have responded, we're constantly coming out with new product, and we know this is just the beginning. Thanks for the support. We are just getting started.
All right, 7-6 on the score. All right, cue ball comes back over. 9 balls in the way. All right, he's going to push the cue up towards the top rail there near the 5. All right, he pushes it over to the side rail. Rivas has a piece of the 2. I don't think he has enough to make it, though. He could try to re-safe Fedor by playing the edge of the 2, banking it up table, maybe drawing the cue ball into the right side rail. right, Rivas really looking at this shot here. All right, passes it back to Fedor. All right, he plays the safe. A little too firm on the 2. Rivas has a chance at it. All right, Rivas kicks the 2 all the way up rail. Better plays the soft shot, trying to freeze the 2. I'm sorry, freeze the Q on the 7. He does not. That does leave Rivas open, potentially for the 2 in the side pocket. He could play it off the 6 if he doesn't have it clean into the side pocket. 2 ball. He's queuing up like he has it in the side. He does. That leaves him for the 4 down to the corner. All right, 4 ball down to the corner. Five ball's waiting in the top right pocket, so he's going to be able to definitely use that for position on the 6. And he power drills that cue out of the pocket as the 6 on the side. I thought for sure he would have maybe just used the top rail. Working out for him right now. Play the 6 in the side pocket. Get on the 7. He wants to be on the right side of the 8 to complete the rack. All right, cue ball comes down perfectly for the 8. He'll play the 8 into the bottom left. You could possibly play the 9 into the same pocket. All right, 8 down. Sergio Rivas looking to play the 9 in the same pocket and go up 2 games on Fedor Gorst. All right, and Rivas makes the 9. He's got 2 racks up on Fedor Gorst. 8-6, racing to 10. All right, Rivas currently in the lead. 8-6. That'll be his break. Looking to win this rack and get on the hill. Fedor's got to pick up a couple racks here. No balls on the break. Looks like 1, 2, 3. Yep, dry break for Rivas. Fedor coming to the table. 5's blocking a 1, 7's blocking the 2, so there is really no clear run out. Fedor could be looking to push. What spot does he push to? All right, Rivas looking if the airborne shot is worth it for him. Fedor pushed to open the 2, so if Rivas does leave Fedor the jump, you got to think Fedor pushed to the jump shot on purpose, and then make the 1 and have shape on the 2. All right, a little risky here for Rivas, letting Fedor come back to the table. High risk, high reward could pay off. Well, maybe Fedor was going to look at a shaft change. All right, Fedor going to go airborne on this 1, trying to make it and get shape at the same time. Let's see what we have. Does not make the 1. Cue ball comes down. It's a little fortunate on the leave, though. He can play the... Rivas can come from the back rail and run into the 1, but I don't see him having anything to make this ball. Rivas goes into the 1. Gonna get away with it. Q's gonna rest behind the 4. Fedor has his jump cue in his hand. I think that's a pretty big ask to get over top of the 4. All right, cue ball up in the air. Let's see. He gets it up there. Wow, does not fall down. Rivas has a good chance to get on the hill from here. All right, Rivas has to get shape on the 2. He has a potential out. This is not going to be a super easy rack because of where the 6-7 placement is, with the 5 being on the top. I'd say it's around a difficulty of like a 6, 6.5 difficulty to get out here. All right, I'll look to get open on the 2 ball, so I'll just want to put the 2 in essentially the center of the table. Surprised he went in between those balls. He's going to come out smelling like roses there, but I don't know. Was he trying to move one of them maybe? All right, cue ball down table for the 4. All right, 4 ball. He's just going to play maybe About 6 to 8 inches draw, and he also wants to go to his right, our left. He wants the angle on the 5. Maybe a little too much in my opinion, but he feels comfortable with it. Got to come 2 rails, right side rail, left side. So he's looking to come under the 8. And he's looking to queue in between the 8 and 9. That's a big ask. All right, gearing up on the 5 here. It's a little bit of a fortunate roll. Does not get a fortunate roll off the 8. Now sits down below the 7. I see that. He's behind the 7, so unless he's going to go and masse up around it, I think he's going to need a jump queue. All right, he's going to kick off the rail then. It's tough to fade. Sergio is a little bit of a slower player. It's going to be tough to fade a little bit. All right, Sergio going to go airborne. At some point. Was into it. Was up, table down. I think, man, I think he may have just got away with that. Tell by Federer's facial expression, he may have got away with it. All right, maybe not. He's queuing up. This angle's tough to read here. He's queuing up on the ball. Yeah, he's got a piece of it, but not enough to make it. All right, Rivas. Studying this down to a molecular level. There's the 6 ball, 7, 8, and 9 to get to the hill. All right, Fedor's got not an easy shot here. He has to make the 6. Almost 6 diamonds up table and get all the way back down for the 7. Ooh, does not make the 6. All right, this shot for Rivas. He's got a 2-way here. He can play a safety. Or sorry, he can play the bank and play the safety. He could also just try to cut it in. He'd have to let the cue ball rip if he wants to cut it in now. Left, right, left. He can tuck the 6 under the 7 if he wants to also. A lot of options. All right, take 3. Rivas on the 6. Cuts it in with a lot of inside left. Got the 7 ball in the same pocket. Just wants to get straight with the 8. Play the 8 to the corner for shape for the 9 in the side pocket. All right, 8 to the... From here, it looks like it's corner. There's another deceiving angle. 8 to the corner. 9 going in the side pocket. This is going to put Rivas on the hill. All right, 9-6. Sergio Rivas. He has a 3-rack lead right now over Fedor. All right, 9-6 on the score. Fedor's got to really come with a good rack here. If he's going to get out of this set and win this set, he's got to have a little bit of luck on his side. Because Rivas would be breaking at least 2 more times, at least 1 more time. Actually, I think he'd be breaking 2 more times, right? 7. 9. Okay, so Rivas gets 2 more chances to win the match. 1 ball's down. He has the 2. Not the toughest shot, but he does have to come with position. He's going to want to look to come right in between the 9 and the 6. That's the 2 in, comes down right between the 9-6. Good angle on the 3. Look for Fedor to maybe go 2 rails. Bottom rail and then catch the left. Somewhere up around the 3rd diamond. That's what I'm guessing here. I could be wrong though. Might even catch it around the 2nd diamond. Spins it in a little too full, but gets the good positional shot on the 4. Speed control becomes crucial here, especially if he's going to go within an inside pocket. He doesn't want to get below the 9. If he's going to play it in the corner, playing the 5-6 in the corner, then he can just throw a little bit of backspin on the ball. Drive it into the top rail and then side rail. All right, he's looking at the 4. Remember, all ball fails. Must be careful of touching any ball. All right, so he's playing shape for the 5 in the side. A little conservative on it. I can understand it. Rivas being on the hill, he doesn't want to miss at any of these points. So he'll play the 5 in the side. He'll come out 3 rails. He should come out in between the rail and the 7. If he plays it a little short, he'll come between the 9 and the 7. All right, out for the 6 ball. Use the rail for help on the 7. Little steep. See his see him flutter his eyebrows there. It's a little steep on that one. Oh, this could be a real tester shot. He could go into this really full too, meaning like I'm sorry, really fast, not full. 1, 2. It might go 3 rails. Left rail, right rail, back over to the left side of the 8. All right, oh, he gets under the 8 ball. He should be able just to clip the edge and bring the cue all the way down table. He does. Sergio Rivas has a chance here to win this matchup. right, Rivas studying this 8. All right, Rivas on the 9. Or, I'm sorry, on the 8. Ooh, misses quarter pocket. He's going to come out for Fedor. Not the easiest shot here to get position either. Fedor's going to have to come short on this, really. Doesn't want to suck this cue ball into the side pocket. He's going to land high on the 9. Yeah, conservative there. Just take the longer shot. Trust your stroke. All right, 9 ball, bottom right. Fedor trying to make it 7. All right, he drills it down. We got 7 for Fedor Gorst. All right, nothing he can do but here is from watch. I'm sorry, nothing he can do from here but watch. He needs Rivas to miss. All right, Sergio Rivas breaking for the win. He's on the hill. Seven balls down. 1 ball's kicked to the rail. Fedor might be getting back up to the table. Rivas looking at the 1. Come on, kid. Rivas goes for the bank and makes it. Hughes coming up table, sits on the top rail. He's got to come with another great shot here if he wants to stay at the table. All right, down to the 2-ball. All right, Rivas scratches. Fedor has a chance here. I forgot to update the score from last. It's 9-7 Fedor. Excuse me on that one. 9-7 Fedor. Yeah, Billy Thorpe, Fedor's teammate in the background watching. His other teammates. Tyler Steyer. Over there playing his match. All right, 4 to the 5. Fedor Gorst here. He could either come across table or possibly go forward, depending on what angle he likes to take. All right, so it looks like he's going to be hitting it low coming across table. Oh, he's got a 50-yard line one here. This one's rough. He's got the bank or the cut. Just what does he like more? right, Fedor. Goes for the cut. Oh, and misses the cut. Q is going to come around the table to the 5. And Rivas has a good opportunity to get out of his match here. All right, 5 ball in the side. He's got the 6 to the opposite side. It looks like the 8 goes in the side pocket also. He's checking that now. All right, he rolls the Q over for the 8. All right, Rivas needs to pocket the 8. Get over to the 9. Pockets the 8 to the corner. Rivas 1 shot away from what I would say is probably be his biggest win of his career, knocking off Fedor Gorst. Let's see what he has here. Sergio Rivas pockets the 10 ball and defeats Fedor Gorst. Knocks him out in the top 16 here at the 2025 International Open. Guys, thanks for watching. Check out FedorGorst.com for all your Fedor Gorst merchandise. And, of course, in just a little over a week and a half, we'll have the Mosconi Cup live from the Ali Pally in London. I'll be there. Fed will be there. All of Team USA will be there. We'll see you then. Thanks, everybody.